Hello, my brothers and sisters of my country. This is Dhanunjay Reddy. Welcome to Dhanu's channel. I have been making this video to pay my humble tributes and homage to one of the most inspiring personalities of my life, Dr. MANMOHAN Singh Ji, who has passed away the other day. Manmohan sir has played a very crucial role in my life, particularly in the career options that I have chosen and the subject of economics that I have been teaching to many of the students. Sir has also played a crucial role not only in my professional life but even in my personal life. He has been a man who has inspired many of the people like me of my generation, and we are very glad to have witnessed the glorious years of India between 2004 to 2014 under the visionary leadership of an empathetic Prime Minister like Dr. Manmohan Singh. So, as a tribute to this great soul, I wanted to discuss about how this gentleman has played a very inspiring role to which the entire country is indebted to in the matters of economy, in the matters of social sciences, in the matters of the so-called technology, as well as in the international relations of this country. To start with, we all know that Dr. Manmohan Singh has completed his graduation and higher studies from Oxford School of Economics. There he was influenced by the welfaristic, socialistic patterns of John Maynard Keynes, and he always used to say that the state has the capacity to intermix with the so-called capitalistic way of production, thereby encompassing the welfaristic life for all the citizens of the country. So he had this vision throughout his schooling and throughout his colleges, where he has written extensively saying that how John Maynard Keynes' model can be applied in politics. Unfortunately, thanks to many people who have played a very crucial role in making this man to be associated with the policy making of India, we have seen the poverty levels of the country has declined drastically, and we have seen many inclusive policies has been taken up under his visionary leadership. So let's start. What are the economic policies that Dr. Manmohan Singh has created, and what are the inclusive policies that this man has drafted for the country, which has an everlasting impact in the entire country? To start with, Dr. Manmohan Singh life is a beautiful lesson which it teaches all the generation kids or all the human beings, like we are born as a human being, and as we move in this life, it is a journey between being human from the so-called human being. So we have to become humans who possesses the characteristics of all the human values, such as the empathy, compassion, tolerance towards others, and having professional dignity, courage in exercising our duties. So this is a great lesson that Sir has taught us. He never spoke, but the message was clearly drawn to every one of us. Hence, he can be considered as the silent architect of modern day India. And he is the man who has ensured that the country has seen the growth beyond 10%, and on an average it has clocked at 8.4% during the tenures of 2014 and 2004 to 2014. So to start with, as an economist, Dr. Manmohan Singh has completed his graduation from the school called Oxford. After coming here, he worked as a professor for economics in the University of Punjab. As he is associated with it, finding his caliber, former Commerce Ministry has given him a red carpet and made him to become the advisor for Ministry of Commerce. Subsequently, in the year 1972, Manmohan Sir has become the chief advisor in the Ministry of Finance. That was his association with the so-called economic sphere of this country. Particularly, he started utilizing his knowledge to the pragmatic necessities of this country. Subsequently, if you look at 1976, he has taken the charge of secretary in Ministry of Finance. where he has taken many policies under the leadership of Srimati Indira Gandhi. And the year 1982, Manmohan Singh sir was subsequently appointed as the governor of RBI. And in the year 1991, he also has become the chairman of University Grants Commission. Subsequently, in the following year, most importantly, in the year 1991, under the tenure of Prime Minister Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao ji, Manmohan Singh sir was appointed as the finance minister of the country. This was a time when the country was reeling under huge pressures, be it in the lines of economics, be it in the lines of polity, or be it in the lines of social division that has been seen due to the demolition of Babri Masjid. So in the year 1991, after taking the charges, at that point of time, we had the old pattern of socialistic model where license Raj was prevailing, and these two combination has resulted in the dawn of a new civilization, or in the dawn of new economic model altogether, which is a capitalistic model. However, this capitalistic model was not entirely the capitalistic model that Adam Smith has spoken, but it is somewhat related to John Maynard Keynes, who has inspired Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji during his graduation. So in the year 1991, when the country was facing balance of payment crisis, where we do not have the import cover for more than 2 weeks, Dr. Manmohan Singh has come out with the policies, and India grew from 132 million US dollar economy to 5.3 billion dollar economy in just 4 years. That was the new India, and the India that we are visualizing, or that we are imagining to become. That is, by 2047, a Viksit Bharat. The seeds of this Viksit Bharat has particularly been laid by Dr. Manmohan Singh Saab. Subsequently, in the year 2004, after showing his mettle as one of the best finance ministers of the country, one of the best economic strategists of the country, who has made this country to propel in the growth process, having worked with great personalities like Srimati Indira Gandhi, Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Sri P.V. Narasimha Rao ji, this person had got a wonderful opportunity to become the Prime Minister of the country. And it is indeed a proud moment for the entire Indians to see a person from that humble background coming and becoming the Prime Minister of this country. After taking the charge as a Prime Minister of the country, this man has shown how the country has to frame policies which is beyond the economic sphere. So this man has concentrated on social sector initiatives, be it the so-called the food for everyone, the education for everyone, the rights of the tribals, who has been advancing these rights or advocating these rights ever since independence, and the rights of the people who were rehabilitated due to this loss of lands in the expansion of the economic activities. And he has also taken some great initiatives in the fields of science and technology. So during this period of Prime Ministership of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who served as the fourth longest Prime Minister of this country between 2004 and 2014, has created a profound impact in all the social sector domains. Let's start with what are the social sector domains. He has already proved his mettle, as I said, as an economist, a pragmatic economist, by the way, and he has expanded his domain into the social sector activities of this country. Having taken the coup from the so-called Chinese economic growth, Dr. Manmohan Singh has introduced the CES policy in the year 2005, which has given momentum for the industrial sector in the country. In the year 2005, Government of India has made this act. So we all know that Finance Minister Sri Nirmala Sitharaman ji is coming out with some changes in the CES Act, but yes, the changes are necessary. But the credit for coming out with this type of policies surely goes to Dr. Manmohan Singh ji. In the year 2005, in order to improve the governance, one of the best things that the country has ever produced is right to information, where government, whatever is happening inside government was known to the common public. Manmohan Singh sir used to say that in administration and in governance, transparency has to be the norm, and if you are hiding something, it has to be only in extreme situations. So with that thought, he has given empowerment to all the sections of citizens to actively participate in governance institutions, to know what is happening in the governance institutions through this act known as Right to Information Act. And Right to Information Act is one of the best acts that the country has produced as far as the good governance is considered. Subsequently, in the year 2007, for the first time in the country, we have seen the election of the first woman prime president of this country in the form of the first prime president of this country in the year 2007 in the form of Sri Pratibha Devi Singh Patil ji. So it is a very humbling point for the country, because even in the oldest democracies like USA, so far after 300 years or nearly after 250 years of its independence, USA has not seen a woman president. But in India, we have seen the prime minister from this category as well as from a president from this category. This clearly shows that India is much more advanced democracy than what our Western world is speaking about the democratic context. And thanks to Dr. MANMOHAN Singh Ji's vital leadership, we had seen this glorious phase of a woman becoming the president or the first citizen of this country. This was a great thing. One more beautiful thing that we have to speak about Dr. MANMOHAN Singh is the 2008 nuclear deal that he has made with the world's largest hegemon, that is USA. It has to be understood that after our Pokhran 1 test, India was kept under sanctions. Even after Pokhran 2 tests, when we have conducted this nuclear testing during the times of Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, the country was kept under sanctions. But unfortunately for the country, Dr. MANMOHAN Singh's during this era, sanctions were lifted. Not only they have lifted, even though India is not a member of nuclear supplies group, which is a very vital thing to supply nuclear weapons or nuclear material. Government of India got the nuclear materials in the form of civil nuclear deal that he has done with USA. A person like George Bush, who speaks about democratic values, who has started the so-called Operation Enduring Freedom in the India's neighborhood, has come to India during his leadership and had made this pact. And this is a very great pact for the country as far as nuclear technology is considered. Once USA has started making deals in the form of civil nuclear deal, the country has got access to other countries' nuclear technology also. So Japan came forward, it shared its nuclear technology to us, nuclear material to us. Australia started supplying nuclear resources for us. France has come and made a nuclear deal with it, along with Russia. So the major countries of the world started creating or recognizing India as a responsible nuclear power. And this was the historic deal that was made in the year 2008. This clearly shows that how far a person like Dr. MANMOHAN Singh has his vision as far as the international relationships is considered. Silently, this man has also given an immense contribution for the developments of the defense and science and technology equipments in the country. The first mission to our moon, today we are speaking about the success of Chandrayaan 3, which the country is proud to honor that we have achieved this. In the year 2008 itself, we have sent Chandrayaan 1 mission to the moon, and this has successfully found out, experimented the surface of the moon, and we have become the first country to come out with the facts that the moon is having the water component. So this is due to the Chandrayaan 1 mission that has become successful thanks to the collaboration and cooperation that his ministry has given. Subsequently, we also see in the year 2009, one of the best acts the country has ever produced. We have seen this in the form of right to education. So until that period of time, right to education was a directive principles of state policy, but now this act was made as a fundamental right to everyone. And in the year 2009, according to this act, Article 21A was added to the Indian Constitution, which made right to education as a fundamental right. Now imagine people who doesn't have education. What would be our situation if we are not getting educated? So there are millions of children who are not having access to education due to the proliferation of the so-called private institutions. This man has said that in all the government institutions, there has to be free and compulsory education up to the class of 10th standard, that is 14 years. Again, the subsequent governments has to follow this model of making people to get empowered by giving them the best weapon that they can ever have in the form of education. Hence, we have to thank this man to keep this Right to Education Act. And during his tenureship, we are proud to see that WHO has declared India as polio eradicated country. So in the year 2011, India have become polio free, and country has seen during 1947 until 2010, we have seen many people who have suffered from this polio virus. Due to the immunization program, which has been extended successfully by this man, we have seen that polio has been successfully eradicated from the country. Another beautiful thing that this Prime Minister has created for the country is the National Food Security Act. So after giving food, one thing, after giving education, but in order to have education, you should have food. So this gentleman has come out with a beautiful legislation that is known as National Food Security Act in the year 2013, where from now onwards, after this act has been enacted, the right to food again has become a fundamental right, just like right to education under Article 21A. Under Article 21, right to food was made as a fundamental right. So now it has become an entitlement of the citizens of the country to go and ask the government that we want rice, we want wheat, we want pulses at rupees 3, rupees 2 and rupees 1 per kg respectively, because we had a law. This is the man who has understood the hunger of this country. This is the man who has understood that education is very important for the people. Look at the vulnerable sections. Who will not have food? The most vulnerable sections of the people. Who will not have education? The most vulnerable sections of children will not have education. This shows that how much he is connected to the India. This shows that how much India was connected to him. Subsequently, in the year 2012 and 2013, after India has launched the first ballistic missile in the form of Agni 5, and during 2013, the first indigenously built warcraft for India in the form of Virat was also unveiled during his period. So we see his contributions extending to science and technological field in the form of space explorations, in the form of defense explorations also. And then in the year 2013, one of the beautiful things that the country has seen is the Mangalyaan mission or Mars Orbiter mission. This is another success that the country has seen during the times of Dr. MANMOHAN Singh. So if you look at this, not only this, another famous act that the slide was missed is in the year 2006, Government of India under Dr. MANMOHAN Singh has passed a beautiful act known as the Forest Rights Act, where he has recognized the forest rights of the traditionally forest dwelling communities. So we know that during the British period under Dalhousie, they have made some laws restricting the tribals not to enter into the tribal areas. Even after independence in the year 1947 to 2006, these tribals have been demanding the country and the government that we want our rights on the tribal areas or tribal lands. This is Dr. MANMOHAN Singh Ji who has understood the pain of this Adivasis and has ensured that if you have been surviving on this land for continuously 3 years, for 3 generations, you will be given the right to your forests. So he has allowed the forest rights to be distributed to the so-called the tribals of this country, and he has given an agency and voice to the tribal communities of this country. Not only this, in the year 2013, Dr. MANMOHAN Singh also has passed a vital role or vital pact in the form of the so-called the Land Rehabilitation and Resettlement Acts. So what this man has did is, whenever there is some rehabilitation works that is going on due to the so-called economic development policies, Dr. MANMOHAN Singh has ensured that we are having equal compensation or fair compensation to this. And another beautiful thing that we should not forget as far as Dr. MANMOHAN Singh is considered is the Manrega Act, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, through which he has ensured that in the villages during the seasons of summer, there used to be migration. So seasonal unemployment was one of the most characteristic feature of Indian agriculture. As a result, in order to retain the farmers inside the villages, he has come out with a beautiful program known as Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which has guaranteed to all the adult rural households a permanent or a compulsory job for at least 100 days a year, and they have assured that you are going to have minimum wages for this. So through this, during the peak summer seasons when people were unable to get any employment in the rural India, Dr. Manmohan Singh's vision has provided some food to these people and some employment to these people. Even today, 49% of Indians are living on agriculture, and 70% of India or 69% of India is living in villages. Given the fact that this is the population that is still dependent on Indian agriculture, the acts like MGNREGA has really given wings for the country to expand for rural employment. Otherwise, today, if that was not launched in 2005, 20 years down the line, we should have seen huge migration into the urban areas, and we should have faced severe shortages of laborers in agriculture, and India would have went again into the problem of hunger. So this is one beautiful act. It has also stopped the so-called migration that India was seeing during his time. So he has controlled the migration that people are going to West Asia or going to the urban areas of the country. So these things were controlled and people were retained in the agricultural sector. So if you visualize this man, or if you characterize the qualities of this person as far as public policy is considered, Dr. Manmohan Singh sir has created a profound impact for the economy, and this economic substance has continued even in the social sphere, when he has given food to everyone, when he has given jobs to everyone, when he has ensured education to the small children of this country, and then when he has ensured the tribal rights to the most vulnerable sections called Adivasis, to the most vulnerable sections like scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. He has implemented some minority welfare programs, and in order to make India to be ready for the next leap, he has continued the programs of the so-called Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, which was started by Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. And in this good direction, he has also laid foundations for India of the next generation in the form of space exploration missions, technological missions in the form of defense equipments, and the nuclear missions. Particularly, he has renewed the relations between India and other countries in the form of USA, in the form of Pakistan. He had a very friendly relationship, and he has also played an instrumental role in building or in making this country's glory to reach to a very new level. Not only this, as late as 2013, this 2023, the vision, the photo that you are seeing on the screen is his presence to come and vote for a bill that was going on in Rajya Sabha. Dr. Manmohan Singh sir has been elected to Rajya Sabha for 6 times. For the first 5 times, he has come from Assam, and the last stage he has represented from Rajasthan. So he has been a member of Rajya Sabha, and persons like him, look at his dedication. Even at this point of time, he never missed any Rajya Sabha debates throughout his tenure. So he is a role model not only for the younger generations like us, he is a role model for the MPs of this country, members of parliaments of this country, how we have to behave in the political sphere. He is a role model for all the bureaucrats of this country, how we have to uphold our duty by looking at the so-called poorest of the poorest man, how our policies is going to help this country. So he is a man of a great vision, and India is really feeling sorry to make this person or to lose this person as the country celebrates this mourning event. This is a time to pay homage to this great soul. Manmohan Singh ji used to say that history will be kinder to me. Definitely, sir. History, not only history is kinder to you. The entire country is also indebted to you. So there was a great thing Dr. Manmohan Singh ji has shown for everyone. If the seeds in the black earth can turn into such beautiful roses, what might turn the heart of a man become in its long journey to the stars? As Dr. Manmohan Singh, the role model of this country, reaches to the stars, it is very clear that India's time has come in the year 1991, and by 2047, India is going to become Viksit Bharat under the guidance of this man. So saying thanks is just a simple thing for whatever he has done, for the entire country. So this is a time to deeply reflect the values that this gentleman has created in everyone's life, and all the people whoever is present in this country, we have to follow the vision we have to follow the passion, we have to have that courage in our lifetime to go ahead with the policies of this great gentleman. Right, during his visionary leadership, almost 27 crore Indians were pulled out of poverty. Poverty was one of the major things that government of India was facing the problems. But if you look at the vision that he has shown, 27 crore people were pulled out of poverty. Look at the contributions that India has achieved during his tenure. At an average 7.7% of GDP growth, and we have been saved from the global financial crisis 2007 and 8 under his visionary leadership. Cess policies, MGNREGA Act, Forest Rights Act, Right to Information Act, Lokpal, Lokayukta institution were institutionalized during his tenure. National Food Security Act was also instituted. Right to Fair Compensation Act, Corporate Social Responsibility of 2% under Companies Act 2013, Indo-US Civil Nuclear Deal, Education Act, and ASHA workers. He has created this concept of ASHA workers for robust rural public health services. This clearly shows that if one person can create this, as a Indians who has the capacity of 140 crores of population, if you are united for the right cause, with the right attitude, with the right character, with the right professional conduct, India will always become a role model for the upcoming generations, and India will become a shining example for all the countries in the world where the countries are under deep turmoil. As we enter into the new year, let us carry the same vision of Dr. MANMOHAN Singh Sir in our economic sphere. Let us have the same professional competency. Let us become the best in our professions. Let us also become the most important thing, that is the humble beings, the human beings. We have to be very humble. So Dr. MANMOHAN Singh Sir always used to say that the true strength of the nation does not lie in the brute force of the state, but in the robustness of its values and the strength of its moral character. So the country is made up of these people. Let us become the men of values and human beings of moral character. As the departed soul leaves, it is again a great lesson for us that human life is a journey between being a human being and becoming a humane. This is a great thing that Dr. MANMOHAN Singh has shown. So this is the day where Government of India has declared as a mourning day. Let us pay our homages to this departed soul and carry the vision that this man has shown. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.